What's going on, Hurricane fans? Hope you're all having a great week so far. I wanted to wait a few days before I gave my recap and my thoughts on Saturday's game against Virginia. And I think I'm going to do this from now on because if I give a recap right after or the morning after, you still got the emotions from the end of the game going on. And I wanted to let that die down before I really pick apart and analyze this game. And talk about what I liked, what I didn't like, and what I think we need to improve on moving forward, which is usually what I do in these videos. First off, I did want to mention this. I've been thinking about it all weekend. The Miami fan base, I love our fan base, but at the same time, they have to be one of the most unrealistic fan bases in the sport. For both good and bad reasons. We expect a lot from our team, as we should. But there are times where we expect Alabama or Ohio State results from a team that is top 15, top 20. And, that's around where we're ranked. We're number 12 right now. I think we're about a top 15-ish team. Even though we're 5-1, everybody wants to fire Blake Baker. I know this won't be a popular opinion, but I'm not on that bandwagon. I do not think he should be fired. I think he has made some mistakes. I think last year was not a very good year for him. I agree with that, but I think he's improved since then. And he's gotten really good at making adjustments at the half. He's done that the last few games. Any mistakes I've seen on defense this year, for the most part, are just execution mistakes. Missed tackles, not being in the right spot, that blown coverage in the fourth quarter that let Virginia creep back into a game they had no business being in. I think that's more on the players than anybody. I can't blame Blake Baker for a mistake like that. And it happened twice. It happened at the end of towards the end of the fourth quarter, and it happened sometime in the first quarter where we left the guy wide open. But we got lucky. There was an illegal man downfield penalty, but that could have easily been another touchdown where we just had a mental error in the secondary and we leave a guy butt naked wide open. We can't have that. Our secondary is loaded with upperclassmen. And if you leave a guy that wide open, I'm sorry, I cannot blame a coach for that. That's on the player. That's poor execution, and they're better than that. So I just wanted to touch on that. We're expecting top 5 elite results from our defense. And really, this is a top 15 defense. You know what you're going to get from this defense. They're gonna put pressure on the quarterback. They're gonna make plays. They'll occasionally make mistakes because they're so aggressive. One thing I do wish that Blake Baker would dial up the blitzes just a little bit more, but we got a defensive line that can get to the quarterback. A lot of times you don't have to do that, and shouldn't have to do that. So until we consistently start getting the Leonard Taylors and James Williamses of the world, those elite 5-star guys, you're not going to have a top 5, top 3 defense. You're going to have a top 15 defense, which since Manny has been here, that's what we've had. Okay, so, and we held Virginia to 14 points at the end of the day. In today's college football, you hold a team to 14 points, 17 points, something like that, you're going to win pretty much every game. All right, you're in good shape if you're holding a team to 14 points. So overall, I wouldn't give the defense an A necessarily, but they were solid. They did their job for the most part. A few other good things I liked. Obviously, the wide receivers, that was the first thing that jumped out to me. They really stepped up, especially Mike Harley. Had the game of his career. A lot of people were getting on him about his post-game comments, saying that, yeah, up until this week, really, we've just been kind of going through the motions and not giving full effort, just doing the bare minimum, is what he said in practice. A lot of people hated those comments for many reasons. I don't understand getting mad at Mike Harley necessarily for those comments, but I do understand that, yeah, what's Coach Diaz doing, letting that even happen? That shouldn't happen. But one thing I like about Coach Diaz is, unlike past coaches, if he sees something not working for long enough, he will make a change. And look what he did. He put all the ors next to all the receivers' names on the depth chart, indicating that really there's no starters. And I think Mike Harley responded to that. I think that lit a fire under his ass, and he went out there and had the game of his career. So I think some good came out of it. Yeah, on one hand, I don't like that Coach Diaz even lets that happen. Guys should not just be doing the bare minimum in practice ever. That's not the standard at the University of Miami. But, you know, Mike Harley also owned up to it, and he said it to the media. So on one hand, yeah, I wish that wasn't happening, but I'm glad he owned up to it and admitted it and had a great game. So I take more positive from it than negative, to be honest. So there were the wide receivers. Defense played solid. Let's see. De'Ara King, obviously, threw for 322 yards in this game. I don't have his completion percentages in front of me, but I believe he threw right around 60, maybe even a little more than 60% completions. I believe he completed like 2/3 of his passes, which is pretty solid. No turnovers, great. No dumb penalties aside from the targeting. I mean, there's really nothing more to say about that. I'm not even going to really touch on that one. But yeah, Amari Carter gets thrown out of yet another game. And then we have 444 yards of offense combined between passing and rushing. 444 yards of offense. Now, common sense would tell you, and this is what I've always thought, that for every 100 yards of offense you should have at least a touchdown per 100 yards of offense. Common sense should tell you that. Some would even say, actually, every 75 yards you should have a touchdown, because if you're starting from the 25 every time because of a touchback, that 75 yards should equal a touchdown. But let's give it the bare minimum. For every 100 yards, a touchdown. This game should have at least been 28-14. Much more, not a blowout, but a more convincing, solid win. It wouldn't have been in the balance at the end of the game. But we didn't do that. After 444 yards of offense, we only put up 19 points on the board. All right, that's unacceptable in my opinion. To get all those yards and not be able to punch it into the end zone, I did not like that at all. That was the one big glaring negative thing from this game that I did not like. We got to be able to finish these drives, and that has not been a problem this season up until this game. So it's not something I'm terribly concerned about. Rhett Lashley gets paid what he gets paid for a reason. He is who he is for a reason. I think he's going to take this bye week and use it to make adjustments and help the offense moving forward. A few things I do want to see moving forward. Obviously, continue playing clean games. No more dumb penalties. I like that that's been going down the last few games. And I want to see a little more creativity on offense. Not just in the passing game, but in the running game. I want to see, some more jet sweeps, read options, design runs for De'Ara King. Not on 3rd and long, but in other situations where maybe because of tempo, you got the defense making substitutions and you can catch them off guard. Things like that. Halfback counters, not the same halfback dive up the middle. It's becoming very predictable, and it's helping an already not very good offensive line look. It's making them look even worse, because if you have 7 defenders, 8 defenders all coming downhill at 5 linemen, 5 guys can't block 7 guys. 2 guys are going to get through, and they're going to make a play on the running back every single time. All right? 5 guys can't block 7. 5, not even 6. Someone's going to get through. Okay? So we got to find ways to be more creative and get them a little more on their heels on defense. Kind of like on that first drive. Because of tempo, they were able to get Mike Harley on a mismatch with an outside linebacker. All right? I want to see more of that. Create more mismatches. Don't run right into the teeth of the defense if they're stacking 9 guys in the box. I don't want to see that anymore. Okay, let's be a little more creative. Aside from that, that's pretty much it as far as what I want to see. Continue making adjustments. Obviously on defense, I don't want to see these mistakes in the secondary. It really, if not for for leaving these guys wide open for easy touchdowns, it really should have been 19-7. Again, those guys, Gervin Hall, Al Blades, they're juniors. They've been with this program for a long time. They should know better. That I cannot blame the coaches for that one. That's on the player. And aside from those two things, that's pretty much it. That's what I want to see moving forward. Keep building on these wins. We're 5-1. I'd say to all the Hurricane fans out there, I'd say enjoy it. We're 5-1. A lot of teams are losing games they shouldn't be losing. A lot of teams out there, a lot of good teams out there are 2-3, 2-4, and they're finding themselves pretty much out of the running for a conference championship. Whether you think we can beat Clemson or not, hey, technically we're still in it. That's all you can ask for. We're 5-1, and remember, last year we were like 3-3 at this point. So let's enjoy it. Let's hope they build on it and continue improving this team.